Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your reading for the weeks of June 4 through June the 17th, 2024. This is a reading if you're a Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, or have another significant Gemini replacement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you. And if you're returning, welcome back. If you do like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss when these videos come out. And I do have links in the description below to my services in terms of tarot, oracle readings, spiritual coaching. Generally, everything is under the heading of coaching, and I use whatever modalities are appropriate for the session that is booked. I also offer something called the life assessment reading, which I am featuring right now because it is basically a 7-hour reading for the price of 3 hours. It covers Western astrology, Vedic astrology, human design, covered, and then of course there's also tarot and oracle as part of it, plus there's a full report that goes along with it, and 2 hours of discussion. So yeah, so it's a great reading that has a lot of material in it. So yeah, you can check out the links below for that, and also for my social media. Okay, so with all that, let's get started. The way I do these readings is, if you're familiar with this channel, you know this, but I do the 12 houses of astrology, and I will explain what each house means, and I'll tell you what the cards mean in that context. If a narrative presents itself, then I will mention what it is, but be aware that this is a general reading, so I don't want to read too specifically for any individual person. I will try to give you the other alternatives for those houses as well, where I think that's appropriate. But if a narrative does present itself, I'm going to say what it is, but take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay. So first house is Aries energy. Aries has to do with your personality, how you present yourself to the world, how people see you. We have Osiris with the sea kitten. We're using the Mystical Cats Tarot today. And this is the same as the Page of Cups. So there's the idea here that you are, you seem to be in a new space. Maybe you were feeling a bit vulnerable lately. But nonetheless, there's a solidity here. Being solid, having your feet on the ground, having good judgment, being able to trust your own judgment. Okay? And certainly you are seen as somebody who is solid and grounded. But it does seem to me that there is a birth of something new emotionally. Now, I don't know if this is coming after a period of healing where perhaps you were feeling a little more vulnerable and perhaps opening up your heart a little bit, or if this is a phase in which you are just exploring new emotions or getting into a new emotional space for yourself, depending on a lot of things. Sometimes the houses cross-affect each other. So the first house sometimes connects with the 7th house, which is the house of relationship. And I mention it because this could be somebody who is feeling new love or a new relationship feelings as well. Okay. Second house is Taurus energy. Taurus is about finances primarily, and we have the Fire Tom, which is the Knight of Wands with Hathor. Okay, so there's definitely strong Empress energy with the Hathor card, so that is good in terms of anything that you are trying to manifest and grow. This could indicate a female figure or somebody who might be helping out with your finances. Doesn't have to. Hathor can also just indicate something that's done in the home or the domestic sphere, or it could be working at some kind of a thing that is usually associated traditionally with women. So people, for example, who work, do sewing or fashion, or people who are hairdressers, or people who are, because there's definitely a strong Venus energy with that. Someone who might be, doing baking or cooking, or like a chef or something like that. I mean, all these things are potentially connected. Again, does not have to be any of those things. For some of you, it might be that. But just a strong feminine Hathor energy here. And definitely this call to action here. When the Knight of Wands comes up, there's definitely the sense that we are being asked to move on something. We are being asked to take action with regard to, in this case, our financial situation. Now, you see this cat is moving through all of these lit candles, and of course has to move very, very carefully. So there's always the caveat with this card that, yes, you definitely, you might be fired up to make changes, to move, to do something new. But you also have to remember to be careful here, obviously, as this cat is trying to move its way through. It does not want to catch itself on fire or knock any of the candles over. So yeah, so definitely it's okay to have to make plans, to try to move, to want to take action, but definitely think before you act, because when this energy comes up, sometimes our actions are impulsive. we may just be in a hurry to solve a situation or fix a situation. So I don't know. So again, take it as it resonates. But like I said, there's either help from a female here, or there's something connected to this strong feminine energy in terms of your finances. Sometimes it literally is just about getting things organized and cleaning things up too. So yeah, take it as it feels, whatever feels correct for you. Third house is Gemini energy. Gemini is about our communications, messages. It can have to do with short distance travel. It can have to do with business, self-employment, things like that. And also brother-sister relationships can also fall into this house. Again, those are not all going to apply, just you'll know where this applies for you. Okay, so now we have another, it's interesting, we've got 3 court cards in a row here. Now we have the Sky Tom, which is the Knight of Swords with Sirius, okay? So now as you can see by the cat on this card, yeah, there's definitely, this cat is getting ready to attack this bird. And there's definitely this sense of, again, like the Knight of Wands, there's a lot of energy. This could be messages about money. Potentially, I feel like these two things might be connected, or about work. If you're in your own business, I feel like there might be, there seems to be just this real high test, high octane energy to kind of want to move forward on things. Sirius is about wanting to roll up your sleeves and get to work on something. This could also be about doing things to improve physical health, because sometimes that is the meaning of Sirius here. It can also have to do with thinking outside the box. So there could be a situation that requires a creative solution, maybe not managing something the same old way. And with this Sky Tom or Knight of Swords energy, I feel like, again, it's saying look before you leap. You don't want to just rush into something just because you feel like maybe there's a crisis at hand, and you immediately, it's like, okay, I just gotta do the first thing that comes up. Like, you don't want to do something like that. Now, the number 6 is clearly important with regard to your finances here, because this is card 15. 1 plus 5 is 6, and I feel like this is connected to what's going on in house 2, and Hathor is also number 6. So there's some kind of, there's definite 6 energy. This could be something that's going to be resolved in 6 days to 6 weeks. But yeah, I definitely feel here that there's some kind of something coming. And so I think you need to, definitely there's a sense that you are going to be working at something. You may be planting seeds. You may be getting yourself organized, trying to think about doing something new. But I think you're being called to respond to a situation in a new way. When Sirius comes up, this is very strong Aquarian energy. So, so did you know? So yeah, so there's definitely this sense of you are, that you're definitely, it's telling you to think outside the box with regard to a particular situation. Now, again, this could have to do with business or self-employment. This could have to do with some kind of an argument with a sibling, potentially over money. Again, it's going to be a little bit different for everybody, but take it as it resonates for you here. Okay, 4th house, this is Cancer energies. Now, Cancer has to do with the home, the family, with your domestic situation. Could be literally having to do with your physical place that you live, or your sense of being at home. And the mother in particular is connected to this house. Okay, so we have Urias with the 8 of Fire. Okay, so again, we have this fast-moving energy. We've got 3 cards in a row here of fast-moving energy. So I don't know if some people are anticipating a move, or like literally moving. You see this cat, like, literally bunching up the rug underneath it, getting ready to take off. Or if there's just messages or things that are happening very, very swiftly here in the home environment. This could be, again, for some people, there could be a change that brings about, if you, for example, if you work from home, there could be a lot of connections here with this. Or this could just be a family situation that's come up that very sudden, where there's some kind of very sudden change here. Urias shows up when we may be caught off guard by something. I feel like there's a lot of, we feel like we need to be cautious about something, manage something with care. This may even be something connected to, like I said, a home situation, or your family, someone in your family that's not being told. Urias is about keeping secrets. So I don't know. I feel like there's something that might be going on right now. I feel like you're moving fast on something. Maybe this is something you're not talking about with a lot of people. Or perhaps there's somebody in your family who's not talking to you about something. Maybe you're learning something, secondhand or something, and say, hey, why didn't I know about this? There could be an energy of that here. However, Urias is also a card that suggests that things are not as bad as they appear to be. So if you are in a situation that seems to be difficult or tenuous. Urias here would be saying, no, that things are not what they appear to be. And usually it means that things are better than what they appear to be. So when Urias comes up, I feel like it's a situation that maybe you feel like there's a crisis here that you got to jump on, but things may not be as bad as you think that they are. So, yeah, interesting developments there. Okay, 5th house, Leo energy. This is about creativity, children, love affairs. Now, if you are somebody who is looking for love, or maybe you have just met somebody and you want to know your chances of how that's going to work out, we do have Ankh with the 4 of fire. So there does seem to be love here for some of you, and possibly somebody who is interested in commitment, at least, if not actually predicting commitment. Because the 4 of fire is the same as the 4 of wands, and that sometimes can be a marriage indicator, though this is not the house of marriage relationships. It's the house of more dating and non-legalized relationships. So I think here there could be, you could have met somebody who maybe is in love with you and is thinking about marriage. And we'll look at the 7th house. Actually, let's just look at the 7th house here for those of you who are interested in love. Okay, now, yeah, the cards that I had pulled, I had the Death card with Thoth, okay? Now, Thoth is a card of a relationship that is karmic in some way. It can be, the writer of the Cartouche book, Murray Hope is the one who designed the system, had said, she referred to this as in the 7th house, that Thoth can mean a relationship that is destined by fate in some way. But you have to remember that sometimes when something is karmic, it could just be a relationship that is there to teach us something. It's not necessarily meaning, oh, this person's the one or our soulmate or something like that. I mean, Thoth can kind of go either way. But there definitely seems to be some very important relationship that's coming up for you if you are, in fact, looking for somebody or dating somebody or have somebody in mind. Now, the fact that we have it with the Death card is a little interesting, because this could either mean that there has been an ending and perhaps maybe a relationship has ended and now there is something new and somewhat faded, or it could be saying if there was a relationship that came to an end, like a marriage or something, that maybe it was something like it was time. When Thoth comes up, it's usually indicating that it's time for something. So I wanted some clarification on this when I was pulling the cards. So I pulled 2 more, and I have the Ace of Wands with the Strength card. And so, yeah, again, strong fire energy, strong Leo energy associated with this card, really. And you've got fire down here as well. So, I don't know. This just seems to be a situation like there's a new beginning of some kind, but there may be a situation where there's been a bit of a struggle, taking the rough with the smooth, in which case death would mean the end of a struggle. It doesn't have to mean the end of a relationship. It can just mean the end of a struggle. But for some people, it might mean a decision to end a relationship. And I don't know, maybe for some of you, maybe it's because you've met somebody new and you say, hey, this is better. Maybe something you've been in for a long time hasn't been working out, and now you're going to make a change. Or it could just be, the end of something maybe that has been a block, because Thoth usually brings good karma. It brings karmic situations that are like rewards, not difficulties and lessons, so to speak. And the fact that I have these 2 cards, perhaps somebody who there's a new passionate relationship where you feel that this person is a source of strength for you, somebody who makes you feel courageous, or makes you feel very alive. Very strong passion here. So definitely, I feel like there's somebody here who may have had an ending. It could have been a marriage that ended or a relationship that ended, but now there seems to be a chance for a passionate new beginning here, which is awesome. That's a great thing. Or there's some situation that is coming to an end. Okay, the other possibility here, and this is coming into my head, you could be talking about somebody where there is love here, and maybe somebody who wants a marriage relationship, but there may be another relationship that has to end first. That's another possibility too. Like you could, or some kind of past situation connected to love or a partnership. Maybe there's still some legal entanglement with a past spouse or something that needs to come to an end here. But it does feel like there's something, again, I don't necessarily like to use the phrase destined by fate, because I don't necessarily think all of this is sort of written in stone and scripted somewhere. But nonetheless, it does feel like this is a relationship that is manifesting the right person at the right time. It does feel like that kind of energy. So yeah, overall, I feel like this is an extremely good omen for relationships. Now, if you're already married, or if you nothing's wrong with your relationship, or if this is a situation where you are where you're not looking for love, you're single, and this is completely not on the table, then the other way to read this would be, again, there's this potential here of something. This could have to do with a creative project. It could have to do with something connected to a child as well in this particular house. But, there definitely seems to be a sense of, there's strong gateway energy with the Four of Fire. So there may be the idea of having satisfactorily accomplished something and now moving on to something, perhaps something that is meaningful, is near and dear to your heart. I mean, again, we do have this Page of Cups energy here in the first house. So yeah, so I definitely feel here like for some of you, this could be just a creative project that you're very passionate about. Maybe something you finished. Maybe you're ready to move on to the next thing. That's another possibility here. And if we jump ahead to the Libra house again, the 7th house, again, if you're already married and you're saying, okay, there's no new relationships, this is not a thing, there could be some kind of a change with regard to a situation for you or for your partner. And this can apply to business partnerships and contracts and things, by the way. It does seem like there is something there's some situation that may be ending, and it seems like the timing of it is right. And whatever this ending is, it's saying be strong because there's a new beginning that's coming in. Okay, so this could be for you, and this could potentially be for your partner if you already have a partner. Okay, so let's backtrack to the 6th house. This is Virgo energy, health and healing, worry and anxiety, and also jobs if you work and you have I just say 9-to-5 job, any kind of job where you get paid by somebody and you're not working for yourself, that would be covered by this house. Okay, and we have Ta with the 10 of Earth, which is interesting. Very, very good financial omen here. So 10 of Earth is definitely lucrative. I mean, it's definitely, that's the culmination of the Pentacles suit. So perhaps there is going to be a job coming up for you, or again, if you're married, maybe your spouse or there's definitely this idea of work coming in, or perhaps something coming in from a man. Okay, because Ta is a strong masculine card, just as Hathor is the strong feminine card. Maybe there's a man who's going to be offering work or a contract or something. It could just be somebody who's connected to that. Ta can also sometimes have to do with physical labor and that kind of work as well, because it's or somebody who's a craftsman, because Ta is about building things. As you can see from the kind of mason's tools here, that Ta has to do with being the master craftsman. He's a creator god. So this is definitely about creating something. And 10 of Earth is definitely a very good sign for finances. So if finances have been a worry, I feel like for some of you there could be a man coming in who's offering something financial. The 10 of Earth also, this could be a family member as well, potentially, because 10 of Earth is about legacies and inheritances or money that comes somewhere from family. That's another possible meaning of this card. So take it as it resonates for you, but I do feel like there's going to be, if somebody's looking for work, I feel like there's going to be work coming in, or there's going to be, I feel like could potentially be a male figure who's going to bring work or bring this kind of prosperity. So if money has been a worry, this is a very good omen. Okay. 8th house, Scorpio energy. Scorpio is about transformation. So it's about beginnings and endings, birth and death. It can be about joint finances as well. Okay, now this is interesting because we have Seth here. Now Seth is the Scorpio card in the Scorpio house. So this can indicate that perhaps you have been in crisis, perhaps beset by obstacles right now. And this seems to be a condition of what's going on right now. With Anubis, there definitely seems like you're going to have protection and guidance through whatever this difficult patch is. And it seems to be saying that, again, you have the Strength card over here. I feel like there's an anxiety here. Like, I've got to hurry up and I got to do something. I got to solve this. I got to get something done. But it's just kind of saying, don't worry, you're going to be protected. 7 of Fire is telling you to stay the course with whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. This is like standing your ground in a situation where maybe you're being challenged and criticized, or just for some reason you feel that the way you've been trying to do it, that you can't do it. So, I don't, and the fact that this is in the area of another financial area too, this could be about money, but it could also just be about other life changes and transitions that maybe have been a little bit on the rough side, but Anubis does indicate being guided and having safe passage. It's funny, I did a morning coffee thing on taking risks today, and I was talking about the Fool card. Now, the Fool card isn't featured here, but the Fool is someone who usually, when you look at them in the traditional decks, they're about to step off of a cliff, but there's a dog there who's kind of stops them or is protecting them or pulling them back in some way. So there definitely is this element of protection here. Again, we have this, we have 6 energy over here and we have 7 energy. I don't know, this could be something, and then we've got the Ace of Fire here, which is like a 1 week period. I don't know why, I'm feeling maybe something happening in 6 to 7 days. We have another 6 up here. Yeah, there's definitely the 6-7 energy. I mean, this can also be a period of 7 weeks as well, but I feel like there is, I don't know, I feel like the numbers are significant this time. I don't think they're always significant, but in this case, I think that they might be. And yeah, basically what it's telling you is, I know if you're going through some difficulties right now, you are protected, and just stand your ground and keep doing what you're doing. Okay, so 9th house, Sagittarius. This is Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is in a really good aspect to Pluto for most of this week. That you will be, certainly starting from Sunday, June 2nd, but basically at night if you're Eastern Standard Time. And then through this entire week is going to be very, very good. So this is going to be really good for financial opportunities. It's going to be a way to marry career and money. There's going to be an opportunity to manifest stuff. So if we're looking at Jupiter energy here, which is about, this is a house having to do with long distance travel. It can have to do with higher education or education institutions. It can also have to do with faith and spirituality, regardless of what your faith is, and the institutions connected to that as well. It's definitely a card of freedom and openness. And we have the 6 of Fire with water. Okay, so when water comes up in the travel house, water or air, this can be a sign of a journey for somebody, and this could be a journey across water. In this case, it would be a long journey. So some of you might be taking a very long trip somewhere, getting on a plane and going somewhere. That's certainly a possibility here. It can also indicate opportunities or possibilities that are coming from overseas. And the 6 of Fire, I mean, I've talked about this card. The 6 of Wands is definitely a card of leadership, of victory. So I don't know, this could be a victory or success that's going to come in something you're learning. This could be having something to do with spirituality in some way. Or it could just be a situation where you are being called upon to be a leader. Okay, it could be, I don't know. I feel like there's a sense of leadership here. If there isn't an actual trip or something connected to something far away, this could also just indicate the fact that there is going to be a change in circumstances. That if we're talking about expanding horizons, there's definitely things opening up and a chance for success here. So I feel like that this Jupiter-Pluto aspect has a good possibility for really impacting you in a very positive way. And I always think it's interesting with this card because it's an interesting interpretation of the 6 of Wands. You have the cat here, and then you have all these other cats coming and bringing toys to this cat. So it's almost like you are recognized and seen as a leader, or seen as somebody who can be entrusted with other people's stuff, So yeah, I don't know. For some people, I don't know. In my mind, I'm feeling like this is something that may be happening at a distance, but it may also have to do with education as well. I mean, it could be both things at the same time. And it doesn't necessarily, if you say, well, I'm not traveling, I'm not going anywhere, this still could be, it could be somebody who you're taking a course with, say, who is at a distance, but maybe you're doing it over the internet or something. I don't know. There's definitely a sense of distance with this, something overseas and over water. So yeah, so I think there's going to be some change and some opportunity there for you to really shine at something. 10th house, Capricorn energy. Capricorn is about your career, your fame, your reputation, also strong father energy with this house. We have Buckle of Isis with Justice. Okay, this is the consequences card. We see the cat getting tangled up in the rope that he's been trying to play with. And okay, so what this suggests is fairness and balance, and also seeing the truth of a situation. And Buckle of Isis would have to do with efforts being made that are rewarded. Now, if I can couple this with what we see in the 6th house, I often read these two together. Now, the 6th house can also be a house of health issues and things like that. But when I see strong work cards in both of them, I mean, you've got the Capricorn energy down here. There definitely seems to be your sacrifice is going to be rewarded. It's possible, too, when the Justice card comes up, that there could be monies connected to something legal. Remember, we did say something about possibly this being legacy money or something like this. And this is a house of legacy as well. So I don't know if there's going to be something like that. But the thing is, with the Buckle of Isis and this, I feel more like that there's going to be fairness. Like the efforts you've put in, if you feel that your efforts have not borne any fruit or have not been rewarded, this would be saying that that balance is going to be struck, that fairness and balance is going to come into the situation. And it's also telling you to take a fair and balanced approach to something. If we're seeing all this very strong energy over here of, I got to rush in and fix it, this is saying keep your balance. Because whatever efforts you've been making, even if you feel like it's not happening fast enough or something like that, it's definitely saying things are going to be rewarded. Okay, 11th house, Aquarius energy. Aquarius is about friendship. It's about our social networks. It can also be about our hopes and wishes and our destiny, really, and what we're trying to manifest. Okay, so we have Nephthys with the 3 of C. This says to me that there's some kind of a situation. I think the manifestation of what you want is not quite ready to happen yet. That's why you're experiencing these delays and why maybe you're feeling a bit beleaguered here. But I feel like it's saying there's something just around the corner, and this is going to involve your friends, okay? 3 of C to me is about celebration, people doing things in a group. It's there's the 3 energy, right? There's the idea of you and those in your network, and this is the house of that. So I feel like there's going to be somebody in your friend group or in your social network or somebody you're connected to who may be able to make a connection for you, or maybe there's going to be something that's going there's going to be some kind of collaborative effort on something. That is also possible. There's also a sense of celebration with the 3 of C. So, it could well be that there is going to be something coming up that you are going to be able to celebrate with your friends. But I feel like whatever it is something that's not apparent right now. Nephthys comes up when something is not clear or you're not being shown something. So yeah, as far as your goals go, this is kind of Neptunian. It's a little, there's a lack of kind of clarity there. But oftentimes, the Nephthys card when this comes up, it's cloudy. We want clarity on something, but it's saying there's literally a karmic reason, or there is some kind of reason connected to the bigger picture why you're not getting this information right now. So just be patient. You're going to get that information. There definitely is something coming. There may be changes coming that you're not expecting as well, either regard to your wishes or, again, this may be connected to your friends. But whatever it is, it definitely is coming up as a reason to celebrate, and it may suggest collaboration with others. And finally, we have our 12th house. This is Pisces energy. Sorry, I'm scrubbing my other deck here. And this is the house of what fears, of what you may be in doubt about, and also just what you're not showing people. Okay, if the first house is what you're showing people, this is what you don't show people. And we have Lotus with stars. So yeah, there's definitely this idea of trying to calm anxiety. Maybe again, there's that sense of vulnerability with the stars as well. That is being shown here with the sea kitten, but it's also showing up here. Like there's healing that's going on. But the thing about stars is this is looking at possibility. So it's almost like the worst is over and now you are hopeful for the future, okay? And that this hope is what's helping calm the mind. I feel like there's a reason to be optimistic here. Like there's going to be a correction of things perhaps that haven't gone right or haven't been good for some reason. It definitely looks very good on the relationship front. Like something is going to definitely happen there for people who are looking for that. And it feels like if money is a worry, that there's definitely money coming from somewhere, like somebody who's going to be providing that money. Or there's just going to be a very lucrative job offer that's going to solve whatever the financial problem is. So overall, we have the Sphinx with the 8 of Sky, okay? So Sphinx is saying right now, even though I feel you've got all this energy, all this Tom energy, which is the night energy, where you want to kind of rush ahead and let's rush around and get something done. This is saying wait. Okay, wait and see, and don't get yourself in a mental bind here. This cat, and I talk about this. This is one of my favorite versions of the 8 of Swords. He's basically trapped underneath a branch. Okay, and he's on his back yowling because he feels like he's stuck. But if you look here, really the cat just has to roll in the right direction, and he'll be able to get out from underneath the branch. But because we're only looking at what's right in front of us, we're not really looking at the bigger picture. We get ourselves mentally stuck, okay? So this is saying yeah, don't tie yourselves in don't tie yourself in knots mentally, because even though there's something that you're not seeing right now, and even though there have been some difficulties recently, I think particularly with money for a lot of people, there is definitely a long-term solution that is coming up here. And so, okay, so let's see. Let's draw a Moonology card for you. This is so interesting because every reading that I've actually done this week has been, you're Gemini, but you know what? We are also in the sun sign of Gemini, so maybe this is why a lot of Gemini energy is coming up. I'm getting new moon in Gemini for the first couple of readings I did. Now I have full moon in Gemini, and this is saying, quite simply, the answers you need are coming. Now, of course, when Gemini comes in, there definitely seems to be that communication is going to be key. And also, this has to do with movement, travel, speed, things like that. You know, Gemini energy, this is your own energy, so you know that. But there definitely seems to be that there's going to be communications coming in. And yeah, that the answers that you need here will be coming. So I just want to thank you very much for joining me. I hope this reading was helpful. And if you did like it, do give me a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're not already subscribed. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you later in June.